All right, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Cohen here with you as we are getting ready to see the Mets take on the Nationals at the beautiful ballpark at the Palm Beaches. It is the home of the Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals. It was built in 2017, and it is in second year of operation. It is a gorgeous facility, and one of the things you see here is you will see people walking up a sidewalk towards the stadium, and as you're walking up this sidewalk towards the stadium, you see a whole bunch of things that are quite unique. You see a bunch of fields that both teams will use. The fans get to interact and mingle with the players a little bit as they make their way to the ballpark, something that you really don't usually see at a stadium. That is what you have here at the ballpark of Palm Beaches. But a beautiful facility for the Mets to take on the Nationals. Let's get ready for the game.
All right, folks, we're here at Palm Beach again for the Nationals and Mets. Nice ballpark, brand new ballpark. Reminds me a little bit of Palisades Credit Union Ballpark up in Rockland County, home of the Rockland Bullders. Very nice facility. All right, folks, Michael Cohen here with you. Welcome to the ballpark at the Palm Beaches as the Mets and Nationals are just wrapping things up here on this final day for us anyway on this Florida trip here for spring training. Mets about to fall in this one. They trail by a score of 7-4 as we speak, as the Nationals again rallied late as the Met bullpen once again for the second straight day implodes. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Really, the story of the day for the Mets was Noah Syndergaard. He was phenomenal in this ballgame. Got off to some early struggles. He did struggle with his command early in the ballgame. Gave up a couple of hits, walked a couple of guys, but then started to get things going in the second inning, where he then struck out the side in the second inning, and then proceed to get out of a jam with 2 runners aboard and nobody out, would strike out the side there, then struck out the side again in the third inning, including Bryce Harper. He struck him out swinging, as Syndergaard would go on to strike out 7 straight hitters for the Nationals. So he is more than ready for the regular season in Noah Syndergaard, as he was phenomenal in this game today for the Mets. Again, the struggles have been with the bullpen. We saw it yesterday with Rafael Montero. We see it again here today with Jarius Familia, as he really labored in this baseball game and couldn't get the Mets through the middle innings of this one. And Familia's struggles really started in that 5th inning. He walked Brian Gordon, then gave up an RBI double to Trey Turner, followed by a RBI base hit to Bryce Harper, and just like that, all of a sudden it was a 3-2 ball game with the Mets in front. After Anthony Rendon flew out, it was then Matt Adams who put the exclamation point in the ball game when he cracked a 2-run homer to give the Nationals a 4-3 lead, and they have since tacked on to that lead as they lead now by a score of 7-4, and well on their way to victory, which will then drop the Mets to 5-9-1 on spring training so far this year. The Nationals will improve to 8-6. Now, the only other critique I would have in this game is offensively for the Mets. They did not get a lot done today offensively. Now, they did score 4 runs, but they could have gotten a lot more. They did strand runners in scoring position, including a situation where they did have 2 men on in scoring position late. That was in the top of the 5th inning and could not bring anybody home. So their inability to produce runs with runners in scoring position really hurt them in the middle innings of this game. Now, they didn't have all their top starters in this one, but they did have Yoenis Cespedes here. He struggled with the bat today. They did have Adrian Gonzalez here today. He struggled with the bat today. So offensively, we have seen some struggles by the Mets, some inconsistency by the Mets over the last couple of days, and it has continued here this afternoon in this ball game here in this beautiful ballpark here in Palm Beach, home of the Nationals. So for the Mets, a tough loss, but a loss it is. And now that will conclude our trip here down south to Florida for spring training. It's been a wonderful ride here, folks. Thank you for following us here on the Sports Talk Nation.